In a quiet village near a vast jungle, people were puzzled when they noticed enormous robots entering the forest. The metallic giants moved carefully, scanning the ground and towering trees with their bright blue lights. At first, the villagers were wary, watching from a distance as the machines began their work. Instead of tearing down trees, the robots gently planted new saplings in deforested areas. Each robot moved with precision, carefully spacing the young trees to give them room to grow. They installed protective barriers around the saplings, shielding them from hungry animals and harsh weather. By the riverbanks, other robots filtered water, removing pollution and waste from the streams. The murky waters soon ran clear, and villagers watched as fish returned, swimming in the fresh, clean rivers. Birds, seeing the restored water sources, gathered by the banks, chirping and splashing. As the days passed, animals that had once left the area began to return. Villagers saw deer grazing nearby, their coats glossy from the fresh, lush vegetation. Monkeys swung through the newly grown trees, and vibrant birds filled the skies with color. The robots worked tirelessly, creating small ponds that served as fresh watering holes for animals. They planted native flowers, drawing bees and butterflies back to the forest. Every corner of the forest started to flourish as plants and animals thrived together. The robots used advanced sensors to plant tree species that would support diverse wildlife habitats. With careful coordination, they built little shelters from natural materials, perfect for smaller creatures. The villagers were amazed, seeing the barren, deforested patches turn green and full of life again. People who had once feared the robots now followed them, eager to see their next restoration project. As the weeks went on, entire sections of the jungle looked untouched by human hands. Massive trees grew tall and strong, their canopies providing shade and protection for creatures below. Streams ran clear, rivers sparkled, and the forest hummed with life from dawn until dusk. The villagers couldn't believe how quickly the robots transformed their land into a vibrant ecosystem. When the forest finally reached a balanced, thriving state, the robots gathered and left us quietly. The people marveled at the revitalized jungle, grateful for the silent guardians who had restored their home.
Early one morning, fishermen along the coast noticed strange, towering robots moving along the shoreline. These massive machines, sleek and metallic, carefully waded into the ocean, their limbs steady against the waves. At first, the fishermen watched with hesitation, unsure of the robots' purpose by the water's edge. But soon they realized the robots were gathering plastic, pulling waste from the sea, and with every scoop the water became a little clearer, and the robots continued without pause. Other robots began building barriers along the coast, creating sturdy walls to block Each barrier was made of durable, eco-friendly materials designed to withstand the changing ocean level. The robots worked with precision, positioning the barriers carefully to protect coastal towns from flooding. As the days passed, the fishermen noticed the difference in the water. It was cleaner, with fewer plastics drifting by. The seabed, once littered with trash, now sparkled as the robots swept it clean. Small fish began returning, swimming in schools near the shores that were once too polluted to sustain them. Coral reefs, once struggling, were free from debris, and colors returned to the underwater landscape. With every trip out to sea, fishermen caught glimpses of new marine life, from starfish to curious dolphins. Sea turtles, which had been scarce, returned to nest on the now pristine beaches. The robots also created artificial reefs, placing structures in the water to serve as habitats for marine creatures. These new reefs quickly attracted fish, becoming bustling underwater homes for countless species. The fishermen were amazed at the speed of the transformation, marveling at the robots' silent dedication. Shorebirds, too, returned, flocking to the revitalized coastline in search of fish and nesting spots. Families began visiting the beaches again, enjoying the clean sands and the clear, gentle waves. Each day, the robots continued their work, removing the last traces of pollution from the ocean. Their towering frames glistened in the sunlight, a constant presence. The fishermen's nets grew fuller, as fish populations rose in the restored habitats. Children watched the robots from the beach, laughing and pointing as they moved gracefully. With the coastline secured and the oceans cleared, the robots finally departed, leaving the sea vibrant and alive. The fishermen, now blessed with an abundance of marine life, thanked the silent giants for giving their ocean a second chance.
In the heart of an arid desert, towering robots appeared under the blazing sun, their metal exteriors gleaming. Equipped with solar panels, they absorbed sunlight, converting it into energy to fuel their operations. People from nearby villages gathered at a distance, curious yet cautious about the machines. The robots drilled deep into the ground, searching for traces of water hidden beneath the desert sands. To everyone's surprise, they pumped water up to the surface, filling shallow basins they had constructed. As the basins filled, the robots planted saplings along the edges, creating a ring of green around each water source. Sun-powered sprinklers began to spray a fine mist over the young plants, keeping them hydrated. Slowly, grasses and shrubs took root, stretching across the once barren land in delicate green patches. Desert animals, thirsty and curious, started to approach the oases, drawn by the scent of fresh water. Birds flew down to drink from the pools, their colorful feathers a bright contrast against the sand. As more water was pumped, the robots planted hardy desert trees, providing shade for creatures and travelers. People marveled at the transformation, watching as cacti, flowers, and palms grew in the once barren desert. Streams formed, winding through the sand and creating new pathways for animals to follow. Children laughed as they watched rabbits, gazelles, and desert foxes drink from the oasis pools. With the water systems in place, each oasis became a small ecosystem full of life and energy. The robots planted tall grasses, which rustled in the wind, creating a soothing sound across the landscape. Insects and small creatures, drawn by the plants and water, made homes in the sandy soil. Birds began to build nests in the growing trees, filling the oases with the sounds of chirping and fluttering wings. Word of the desert oases spread, and people from far-off towns came to witness the miracle. The robots continued, moving further into the desert to create even more oases, each one a haven of green. As they worked, they monitored the ecosystems, ensuring each oasis stayed balanced and self-sustaining. People marveled at the way the robots harnessed the sun's power to bring life to the arid wasteland. Every sunrise revealed new growth, more plants reaching toward the light. The desert transformed. The once empty sands now boasted patches of green and blue, like jewels scattered across the dunes. And as the robots moved on to new projects, the desert oases remained thriving reminders of nature and technology working together.